was born in Edinburgh and we lived on a farm near Musborough. My father was a farm worker and I had quite a happy childhood. I would be with my mother when she worked in the fields and helped her. But I had quite a happy childhood playing with whoever was around. First primary school was about a mile away, which I had to walk to, Newton Grange School. We emigrated to Australia in 1956. Well, the farm that my father worked on was taken over by the railway company, so the whole farm was disbanded. And he decided he would like to emigrate to Australia. So we applied to go out and we were sponsored by a family in Victoria. They wanted to sponsor a family from Scotland, and we were quite lucky to be that family, because we didn't have to go into any immigrant camps. A lot of people, they didn't have anywhere to live, so they had to stay in camps before they got a house or a job. We were lucky to be taken in to a lovely family home. They were farmers as well. We went out on an Italian ship, I think it was called the New Australia. We just got through the Suez Canal before it closed, because it was in 1956 there was what was called the Suez Crisis. And the canal was closed. I think we were one of the last ships to get through. We stopped at Aden and Colombo, which was then Ceylon, and sailed on to Fremantle, and then got off the ship for good in Melbourne. And we were met by the family that came down to the ship to meet us, to take us. My father soon found work on a farm. It was a small town called Noorat. And I went to the primary school there and made lots of friends. And had a really happy childhood there. There was a new swimming pool had been built because of the Olympic Games in 1956, and the people in Terang built their own swimming pool, and I remember cycling the few miles to visit this lovely new pool. We had some holidays. We had a couple of holidays down to Melbourne and a holiday up to Sydney. This was by coach. It took quite a while to get there. We went via Canberra up to Sydney for a holiday. I really enjoyed my life there. After leaving Noorat Primary School, I spent 2 terms at Terang High School before we left. And I've kept in touch with my friends over the years. And in 1996, we did go back for a school reunion at Terang High School, which was lovely to see people again. My father then decided he would like to see New Zealand. Now we've come down this far. And we left Australia and went to New Zealand. And he soon found work. This was in Wellington, in the Botanical Gardens. I enrolled at Wellington Girls College, I think it was called. Unfortunately, I was put in a class where the girls were a bit older than me, and I don't think I made many friends there, but I did enjoy. I think it was just a big adventure. We returned on a New Zealand shipping company ship, and we came back through the Panama Canal and we had a stop at a Dutch island called Curacao. I remember Curacao, I think it is, Curacao. It was very hot anyway, I remember that. And when we came back to Scotland, we lived with my grandfather. And I finished off my education at Preston Lodge School in Preston Pans.